And here we go with the nonsense. So, of course, guys, the nonsense of the bird flu is starting to gain traction. Now, we've been watching it spread throughout the country, spread in other countries through the birds, and it's seemingly only spreading through the birds we eat. I find that to be interesting. But here is the bigger problem because this, guys, if this is true, and the bird flu gains more traction and gets away from us, we have a serious problem because it's going to turn into something very bad. It's going to make the Mr. 19 event, COVID, look like a walk in the park because they are stating, at least in the Czech Republic, that the current bird nonsense is airborne. That is going to be a huge problem if, in fact, it is airborne, because that means, guys, they're going to do the Mr. 19 protocol, but way worse. Lockdown is going to be something we dream of because this is going to be far worse than a lockdown. Talk about wearing something over your face. I don't know what they're going to do. 6 feet apart, not going to work. They're going to shut things down, and they're going to shut it down a lot harder if this is airborne. People fought with one another with Mr. 19 about not wearing a mask on your face, coughing in public, the whole 9 yards, and it got worse. I mean, people fought over this. Something that is airborne now, people are going to duct tape their doors shut and duct tape their windows. It's going to get out of control if this is in fact true. Now, why they think it's airborne is because there was a chicken farm and a duck farm in Czech Republic where the ducks got sick. Interestingly enough, these are the sources of meat that we eat, both of these farms. And the virus appeared in the chicken farm and somehow got to a duck farm that was quite a bit of ways from it. I mean, they can see each other, but they were quite a bit of ways. And somehow ducks started getting sick inside this facility that was, for better or lack of a term, locked up. So they were like in an indoor facility. They weren't outdoors. They weren't free range or in a chicken coop. They were like in a facility that had an air filtration system and a whole 9 yards inside. And somehow the bird flu made its way in there, affecting the ducks or infecting the ducks. And so what they did, I found funny, is they didn't want to cull all the ducks. They started separating the sick ducks from the seemingly healthy ducks. And that's how they went about separating them. They had dead ducks in there, and then they had sick ducks, and they separated those, and they kept the healthy ducks. Meanwhile, here in the United States, one bird comes down with the bird flu, the entire uh, flock is destroyed, culled. Now, I get it. It's probably a lot of work to go through each bird to see who's sick and who's not, but I doubt very much that there's a 100% fatality rate with this in all chickens. There has to be chickens and ducks that can survive this. Nonetheless, this is what's going on with our food source. They're getting sick, and it's only affecting the birds that we eat, because I find it interesting that no other birds are dying. Yes, there was a farm or zoo that had a couple of sick birds, but again, nothing crazy. Why aren't we seeing pigeons and seagulls laying on the ground? We're not. So again, that goes back to there's something inherently wrong. And if this thing is airborne, this is going to get really bad because people are going to get even more scared. People were scared of Mr. 19. Imagine this being airborne. We're going to have a lot of bitches running around being the bitchosity level is going to go through the roof. Now, keep in mind, guys, that duck farm was in a state-of-the-art facility. So a state-of-the-art facility that was housing ducks, and he still got sick. That's where the red flag is right now, because they were trying to figure out why did these ducks get sick. And then they came to the conclusion that it's airborne. So they're saying that they did a study, and then other people are saying that it in fact came from there. So they're trying to figure out what it is. But if this is airborne, this is going to change the game, especially, guys, if this starts infecting humans. If we start getting human-to-human contact with this, and this is airborne, the vaginosis or bitchosity scale is going to fucking skyrocket, because you saw how scared people were with Mr. 19. You saw how they were acting with that. And this has a higher mortality rate than Mr. 19. So if bird flu has a higher mortality rate, how scared do you think people are going to be? And how bad do you think the chaos is going to be behind it? This is going to turn into a shit show in a hurry. And I am not interested in this one at all because the lockdowns are going to be the least of our problems. This is going to be some kind of mega crap. They might even enforce a lot of things that they didn't really enforce the last time. They're going to get heavy handed with it this time. They're going to do what China, Australia, and New Zealand did times 1,000 if it gets to that point. This is something to put on your radar. Again, do not get scared. Don't start panicking, crying, and carrying on. Just put it on your radar and watch this and see how many more reports we start seeing of it becoming airborne everywhere else around the world. Other than that, guys, this is the Angry Prepper. Thank you for watching.